Hey everybody, welcome to yet another weekly installment of the Stash Report, the Stash Project. It's the 16th of October 2014, and we got a short one today. Matter of fact, we have 5 kit issues to discuss, all of them reissues of one sort or another. 3 from Fujimi, 2 from Hasegawa, and the Notebook of Knowledge here is telling me that there's one sort of a new, we're using as big air quotes as you can find, new kit announcement. Since we discussed last, as of yet, Revell has still not announced their 2015 first quarter release announcements. We did get at least a text list of some stuff that Round 2 may be considering for the second quarter of 2015, and it looks like everything that Mobius had been planning to do for the end of this year is all off in 2015 someplace, with the exception perhaps the Model King 69 Ford pickup, but even that seems less and less likely to arrive in 2014 at all, let alone in the next couple of months or so. So the one new kit that there is to discuss release-wise. Actually, I think we might have known about this, but it just popped up on a pre-order, which reminded me. Revell of Germany is going to be reissuing the 1930 Bentley blower. This would be the Bentley with the supercharged engine. It has the supercharger sort of stuck on the end of the crankshaft, so it's outside the front of the engine, and on the other side of the radiator, basically. As far as I know, Revell of Germany does not actually have a tool of this of their own. Was issued at least once in the past in just like a Revell box, but it was in the 1980s Revell box when Revell of Germany kits were sold, at least here, through just as a Revell name. It was one of the points in time when Revell of Germany and Revell were owned by the same company, and then they split, and then they were owned by the same company, and then they split, and now they're owned by the same company again. I believe this is the old Heller tool, as far as where the origins of this are, because as far as I know, like I said, Revell of Germany doesn't have their own Bentley blower kit, so this will be a reissue of the Heller tooling, because Aerofix's was a larger scale than this, and I don't believe there's another, as far as I can find, there's not another 1/24 scale Bentley kit of this vintage, this pre-war race car thing. Plus the pictures that Revell of Germany is using are the pictures that that Heller used on their box art the last time. So that's supposed to be out December. I believe that's a universal release date as far as both in Europe and from Japan, where we saw the pre-order pop up at. And like I said, we have, Fujimi is considering these to be new issue kits, mainly because they have new stock numbers to them. But we'll real quick go over the Hasegawa stuff. Hasegawa stuff is, reissues in a limited sense. These really are spot runs from Hasegawa. They're not going to go in the regular catalog as far as that goes. But they are the Lancia Stratos Chardonnay rally car. That's going to be for the 1979 Monte Carlo Rally. You can build either the number 4 car shown here on the box art or the number 1 car. So there's just going to be decals for the rundrels there rather than like a whole nother set of decals. The Stratos, again from Hasegawa, is a curbside kit, both in the rally and the street version. If you want a full-blown Lancia Stratos kit, you need to go find one of the enthusiast versions of the Fujimi kit. And I say go find because it hasn't been out for probably 10-15 years. The other one that's a limited edition kit is this Jolly Lancia 037 Rally. This one can be done in 2 versions, either as the 1985 Portugal Rally or the 1984 Tour de Corsa Rally. There's entire decal sets for both of those variations because the decal sets are somewhat different. They're not wildly different, but they are somewhat different. Reminder on that, the Lancia 037 is a full detail kit. There is a full engine to this. This kit, as far as the instructions go, have several pictures of the real vehicle interspersed throughout it. For any American guys, you may remember the way the instructions were laid out for the Revell Pro Modeler series of kits. That's the way these are. as far as the instructions for this particular kit. The Stratus does not have that. This, as far as I could tell, is a combination of two kits. I believe the 85 Portugal and the 84 Corsa, Tour de Corsa were two separate kits at once. This is both of those in one. Both of these are, as Hasegawa calls them, special limited editions, meaning they did one run of these. I don't know what the numbers are as far as how many there were in that run, but once they sell out, they're gone again. So if you want one of the two of those kits, buy them now while you can find them. I mean, of course, they'll linger on eBay for months, if not years afterwards, but you're going to pay increasing rates as time goes along. That still leaves us 1/037 short for the month yet, so we'll keep a watch out. Although I think that's the one that's been pushed back to the 1st of November. Fujimi's 3 new kits are a triplet set of Toyota GX71s. The GX71 and through it was a GX61, 81, 91, and then I think it turned from there it changed over to the JXZ or the JZX. I'd have to go look. I don't care. I'm too tired from work right now to really give a flying what about it. So, but it turned into the 100 series, which of course right now you can still buy at least the I believe the Mark II in the factory stock trim, and they're going to be reissuing the the Chaser Aero package one in November. Well, those were the our mid 2000 issue, late 99, mid 2000 issue kits. They haven't gone ahead and done updated those tooling as far as that goes into the current versions. But these are mid 80s versions of these cars. They've been issued recently, within the last couple of years, as curbsides. What are really interesting about these 3 kits, and all 3 of these kits are the same way. I mean, they're essentially the same body with different grills and taillights for all intents and purposes. But what's really different about these are, as you can see here in the back behind the car there, all of these have the 2-liter twin-turbo engines in them. These engines are like 25-part engines, so they're not like real, chintzy engine inserts. The engine pretty much is its own separate thing. There is a transmission to these engines, but the transmission does not go into the car. There is a display rack. If you have any of the Enthusiast series models, you know that you can pull the engines out of those and put them on little plastic display racks to display beside the model, or just build the engine as its own little thing, and then build a kit curbside, I guess. All three of these kits will go through the box art real quick. We're going to stick on the Chaser to point it out. All of them have this engine. The engine itself goes in the car. You have to cut the hood out. The hood is molded to the body because, again, these were curbside motorized chassis kits. When they put the engines in them under a series called High Mechanical, of which there are another, I believe, 4 or 5 more kits, some Supras, and at least one Celica, they cut out the engine insert bottom part, and then they actually tooled up new pieces to the chassis to allow these to attach with polycaps, or not, well, they're sort of a variation of polycap, really. But the front suspension isn't just like a tongue depressor attached to 2 uprights. The rear suspension is a little different. The exhaust is separate, stuff like that. The one thing about these, the transmission is still molded into the chassis. That's why I'm saying the transmission doesn't go into the car. The transmission is just for display. However, if you wanted to just make these curbside kits and use that engine for something else, well, then there's a transmission to it. So that's the sort of the unique piece where the transmission doesn't go in the car, but the transmission is in the kit. It's a 2-piece transmission. Basically 2 sides that go together. But if you wanted to transplant that twin turbo into something else, you can, because, like I said, there's a tranny for it. It's not just a engine insert. You see a lot of Fujimi kits look really good when you put them together, engine insert wise, but you can't really do much with that engine insert because it's usually attached to the firewall or the fender insert. So there is the Chaser, there is the Cresta, and there is the Mark II. For some reason, Hobby Search did not have the box art for the Mark II, but it looks just like the other two. all of these just came out. All of them are the first time that these kits have been issued with the engine in them for about 12 years, maybe even longer. Like I said, they've been issued several times recently with either just being a street stock version, with the old motorized chassis in it, or there's been a couple of tuner versions of them, again with the old chassis. And for some reason, when these weren't issued as the high mechanical set, they put the old motorized chassis and tongue depressor tie rod, steering setup in it, and the molded in exhaust and stuff like that. I don't know why, if you tooled up new chassis parts, you wouldn't just put them in all the time. But hey, it's Fujimi, and you don't argue with what they do. They just do it. So anyway, like I said, first time for a long time those kits have had engines in them, engine fodder for other kits if you don't necessarily want to build some bland four-door Toyotas. But they're running right now, I believe, about $18 a piece, which again, foreign kits are too expensive. What can I tell you? I think all 5 of those together would run you just south of $100, which is only going to buy you like 3.5 Revell kits. It is what it is. And that is what it is. There's nothing else to talk about. It was a real slow week announcement-wise. We sort of blew our announcement wad last week, as it were, because it was when we got all of Yoshima and Fujimi's new announcements. And we currently await with bated breath and cringing disaster for the first quarter 2015 announcements from Revell. Maybe it'll come Friday. I kind of expected it Monday, or at least Tuesday, because Monday technically was a holiday. Monday was also a holiday in Japan, and there's also been 2 typhoons in Japan in the last week and a half, so I can understand why things are maybe a little slower over there than we would expect them to be going into Christmas. But at any rate, that's what we got for this week, and we'll see you on the other side.